And we're live. Hi, everybody. Hope you're doing well today. So, the plan tonight is that I've got an Ender Magnolia stream for you all. Sadly, again, this one's going to be a bit short since I have to wake up early for work, but we're going to make the most of it. So, about 3 hours, I want to say. So, shorter for certain. But yeah, I hope you're all doing okay. I've had a bit of an odd day. But for the most part, it's been fine. Just odd in parts, and having to inform some people about some stuff. So, yeah, it's just an odd day. Sorry, I was texting my mom. So, yeah, let's see, last time we left off on this, we were in the midst of a mansion area, and we had finished the mines, and we'd already acquired a lot of homunculi in our journey, and we'll see them soon. Just need to get the game to capture. Oh, there it goes. Took a second. All right, we're good now. So yeah, that is the docket today, is that we are gonna explore more of the mansion and potentially some other areas and see what other homunculi we can get. No, don't mean to do that. I meant to do there. Resume. All right. I also turned off some things that I don't really find necessary, like the damage values and the damage and healing values for healing and damaging enemies. I just don't see them as necessary for this. So I just went ahead and turned those off in the settings. I don't know about y'all, but when it comes to damage numbers being displayed a lot in some games, they've never really meant anything. Like, not to say like, oh, no game should have them, more like, I'm not seeing the purpose when it comes to games that are far more explorative and action-based like this. So, yeah. Okay, so we've completed all the areas up here, so we can just go down now. I do find it odd that the area is not considered complete until you even explore all of it, but I guess that makes sense, I suppose. It's just odd. But yeah, so leaving off in the story, we are what's called a tuner, and we have the ability to take homunculi into our fold by way of calming them down and attuning them to us, and that's why we have the characters that we have. And I say again that the thing that I appreciate a lot about this game, as far as its world is concerned, is that these characters are essentially boss fights, or the boss fights are essentially characters we can now interact with since they are part of our loadout. So yeah, we have, let me double check on who we actually, who's named what again? Yolvin, Nilo, I think, Nia. I forget their names. I'll see it again sometime soon. But yeah, we've gotten our basic attack character. We got a aerial character that's able to do this drill attack that's really good. We have one that can punch through shields, and I think this was the owl. Yes, and we got that from another tuner. So yeah, a lot of progress was made last time. Like, that is something with this game that I really appreciate, is that this game's pacing is just brisk and really quick. Because looking at what we've Looking at what we've already gotten, we're sitting pretty high with our loadout of abilities alongside... Oh, hello. We're sitting good with our ability loadout and the characters that we've already obtained. Have to get used to the controls though, because it's been a bit. Okay. So yeah, here are all of our characters. We also got a fast travel wolf, which is awesome. Abilities. Okay, Lido, Yolvin, Garm. Lido, Yolvin, Garm, and I forgot the main one's name. It was niece something. It'll probably come up again. There we go. But yeah, we learned about illusionary walls through a tutorial as well, so we had a lot to learn last time. This time, let's go down. Oh shit. Ow. There we go. Good use of frozen attacks. Balls. Okay. And we also unlock the ability to have cosmetics too, which I appreciate, because if there's anything that I usually like in any kind of game is the ability to customize the main protagonist's appearance, whether they're created characters or not. And I happen to think I like this outfit a lot, especially in an environment like this, because if there was one thing from the last game that I would say wasn't entirely the most favorable for me, it was the fact that the main character in Ender Lilies, her design, while good, kind of blended in with the more monochrome backgrounds. So having the main character of this game have a azure cloak that, you know, is very stark, really pops. It helps her stand out. That's why I also praise Yi's design in Nine Souls, because Yi also stands out against the background of the designs in that game, because he has a yellow robe on, and yellow's a very bright color. Goes against the industrial background. So yeah, I like it. It's like, can you have a monochrome color scheme in a character? Yeah, but I just would find that maybe give the characters something bright in their design that makes them pop so that they don't get lost in the action, you know? And actually, speaking of Nine Souls, so I don't know if I've talked about this, but the developers of Nine Souls, Red Candle Games, recently had shared that they are doing a mini, like a short manga comic series that is a prequel to the events of Nine Souls, and it follows one of the side characters that you meet in the game that greets you as you get new abilities. And I have to say, there's only 3 chapters of it out right now, and if you need to find it, you can just probably look up Nine Souls prequel manga, and you can find the official spot to go read it. It's been a really cool read, and the artwork in it, much like the artwork in Nine Souls proper, is sublime. It's really, really good. This would be a mini boss. Oh, you can do that. Okay. I figured that would happen. Okay. Now that I know there's a boss there, let's try and play that more cleanly. But yeah, it's good to see that kind of supplementary material in the game because, or for the game rather, because supplementary material in video games is always an interesting thing to me because for some game series, I find that supplementary material, while adding to a game's lore, if done in a particular way, makes it feel like you have to go through specific parts of it to really gain the context of a full story. Which, I mean, for some it feels fine, I guess, but for others it feels like it makes the game itself feel incomplete. This Nine Souls case doesn't feel that way because Nine Souls itself is pretty self-contained. It's just one of those things where, depending on your thoughts with supplementary material, some may view it as required reading or watching or what have you, but others may view it as not that case. I think probably the most notorious case, in my opinion, would be the Nier series, the Nier and Drakengard series, because for those that are unaware, Nier as a game series has a lot of lore behind it and a lot of backstory, which makes sense considering it's a sequel to a PS2 game that had itself... Actually, did it have supplementary material? I don't know if it did, but it did definitely have a lot of up in the air things about its story. And Nier in particular became pretty heavy with that case because, like, there's a whole ass book that revolves around short stories that the characters go through to, you know, gain better context about things. Oh, we've got a scene happening. I'll continue in a moment. Frost, you're a sight for sore eyes. Stand on your toes. The fumes. We can't help it. I've got nothing else to give. So please, take this. Ooh, for... Who's this for? I'm component filled with armaments of the homunculites, capable of augmenting arcane instruments. No response. Oh, he's just gone. Okay. But yeah, with supplementary material, the issue with Nier comes in mind because a lot of the supplementary material that exists in Nier is Japan only. Like, there are some that you can experience outside of Japan. I actually have the 2 short story Nier books in my area that's got all my merchant stuff, but you know, not everybody will want to shell out extra money for a book or what have you. It's very much one of those things where it's like you gotta, at the very least, make it relatively more accessible for people to view without having to, you know, make them go out of their way to either find subtitled versions of a thing that they want to learn more about, or to find like fan translations through a website, because that's a lot to do and it's a lot to ask for, which again you don't need to do since a lot of the Nier games are pretty self-contained. It's just there are illusions that are to be made that essentially add to the experience or detract depending on people's thoughts. And I don't know, supplementary material for a thing can be a very slippery slope. You either make it non-canon or it's canon and could potentially hamper the experience. Like going back to Nier, there's a short story that adds on to the ending of Nier Automata, and it kind of deflates the more bittersweet ending to the game, according to what I've heard. So yeah, but so far this prequel manga for Nine Souls has been a very good experience because it's not following Yi, and it's mostly just to establish the backstory of one of the central side characters that you meet in the game. So yeah, it's neat. I like it. And it also provides a backstory to one of the antagonizing forces within the context of Nine Souls' lore. So yeah, good stuff. Book of the Blighted. Neither the body nor the mind can resist the blight. In times it assails even the soul, and rot consumes the whole. The rot exhibits remarkable regenerative properties, granting undying flesh to the blighted. In the process, however, the mind is consumed by the blight's rage, until only madness remains. Only the miracle of the priestesses can bring salvation to the blood. Oh, so hold on, maybe okay, so wait, this is a full-on sequel, because that is just a reference to Ender Lilies. Okay, so maybe I should be saying first game instead, because this isn't an Ender Lilies 2 thing. So, to give context on what that meant, in the first game, the main antagonizing force was this disease called the Blight, and it had corrupted a lot of the knights and other characters in the game, and you, playing as the last priestess, was able to cure most of it and be able to move on. And that just essentially said that what we're exploring right now and what the fumes likely are is another version of the Blight. So yeah, that's something. Also, more items to forge, fuck yeah. So yeah, that's fascinating. I think the other matter when it comes to making games that feel like they have more contained in them is like, if you're gonna make a game for a series that ends up with games on another console that you kind of have to experience to get the full story. I mean, dead horse beaten, Kingdom Hearts kind of is infamous for that case back in the day. Not so much anymore because you have the collections that have literally all of the games available for you, and some of the less beloved entries are made into more movie cutscene format. It's just, you know, the criticism from back then is like, hey, why do I have to shell out money for a Game Boy Advance to experience Chain of Memories as a story to understand what's going on in Kingdom Hearts 2? And down to the extent where I think important backstory lore about Kingdom Hearts exists in like a mobile game that's no longer online functionality. So, or it doesn't have any more online functionality. So truly making supplementary lore for something and locking it behind not just, you know, region, but also a whole ass side game that you have to spend a ton of hours in to get the full scope of everything. I don't know, that's for people that actually that feel dedicated enough to want to do that kind of thing. For me, with my Kingdom Hearts experience, I stopped at 3, and I don't really feel like continuing the series from there because it feels like the lore is kind of spiraled away from, the lore just kind of spiraled out a lot. Homunculus Research Log 2. Requiring neither food nor water, homunculi instead find sustenance in magical energies. Through the preservation and replication of the soul, it has also become possible to create homunculi with regenerative abilities, capable of withstanding the blight in the lower stratum. Before long, we shall be able to plumb its lowermost depths. Plumb its lowermost depths. The land of origin is within our reach. Okay. Yeah, I guess it's just kind of a case-by-case basis on how you find supplementary material in pretty much anything, not even just games. Like the classic problem of when an anime would have maybe 12 episodes and then the ending of it would feel a little incomplete, and then it turns out, you know, it's an adaptation of a light novel or a manga series, and you gotta read the manga to get the full scope of it, if it's even finished or, God forbid, on hiatus. Like, that's part of why I have been hesitant about checking out certain anime series and even some manga series, because of how some of them could be potentially incomplete due to hiatuses or just ongoing problems publication-wise. Trying to think about it. Oh, Nana. So I heard about one called Nana that's really good from what I hear, and I'd be interested in trying it out, but apparently it's been on a hiatus for a long time. And I don't know the reasoning behind the hiatus, but a hiatus is going on for it, and it's just one of those things where it's probably forever incomplete. So unfortunate, but I think maybe I might not want to potentially get into it because it's just been too long for the series to be going without really any conclusion. And that truly is an awful fate for a series to go under, especially if it's good, which according to what I've heard, Nana is good. It's just unfortunately not, you know, continuing. There we go. Like, it makes me kind of gain an appreciation for some of the series that I've seen that are on hiatuses, but, you know, are still continuing strongly and have a dedicated fan base that's willing to wait for it, you know? Like, not to say anything's bad about how Nana has to deal with its hiatuses or what have you. It's just, holy shit, over a decade and no new chapters can probably feel awful. It's like, I feel, you know, after a decade, it's fair to expect that maybe it might not happen. Let's see. I have the Ancients. Reduces cooldown of abilities by 15%. An ancient arcane instrument fashioned by the House Frost. The eerie blue eye enclosed within it is said to never take its gaze off the holder. Whether or not the orb is real is another matter. Ugh. It's like a Kurapika situation. Okay, so we have all that. Left or right? I'm feeling like healing, actually. But yeah, like, that's part of why I got really nervous about starting back on Hunter x Hunter again, because the hiatuses just got really long at certain points, and I think we're still on a current one, and it's for understandable reasons. Like, authors going under hiatuses is completely fine regarding the reasons that they may have, you know, be it health reasons, publication problems, or maybe they just don't enjoy making it anymore. Like, an author is well within their rights to want to take a break from their series if they feel like they just aren't capable of doing so, or wanting to, or for any other reasons. And the best we can just hope for is that, you know, some series could potentially end on their own terms, because let's face it, while a series can always end on while there are times where a series can end on a note that the author would glowingly approve of and want for their series, they do have to work with editors that likely have their own 2 cents to put in for what an ending could be. Or in the case of some long-running shonen, they may want to keep the series going because it's really popular and still makes a lot of money. So, yeah. thus is the situation of ever having a long-running series that you may be a fan of. Ow. Oh, thank God that ledge there. Thank God for that ledge. What is this? More materials, cool. Yeah, I can think of the ending of Naruto, how apparently Kishimoto was able to end Naruto on his own terms without having to compromise on what all he wanted to do for the ending, since that cannot be the case with some series, unfortunately, but the fact that he got to do that is huge, and I'm happy for him for that. Like, I dropped off of Naruto a long time ago when I first had gone through it, but you know, even I can see, like, yeah, it's good for an author to be able to get to end things in their own way. Whether or not it's a way that the fans like, that's a separate matter, because fans will always want will more often than not always want something potentially different regarding how a series may conclude or what have you. Ow, god damn. Wrong direction. Also, we have an ad break starting in about 2 minutes as a heads up. I'm gonna get some kind of ability that lets me tether to things. I can just see that. All right, so to the right of this is a boss fight, so I want to go left. Although I feel like fans expecting a different kind of ending may be due to their own expectations on what they want for a series that they really like, because of how long running it is, and they may think, oh, we want this ending to go, we want the ending to go this way, or we want the ending to go the other way. I hope for a lot of them that doesn't end up like Bleach, you know, in that situation where a series had a ending that felt rushed to an extent and left fans feeling a bit miffed. I don't have the full context of everything because I dropped off of Bleach just after the Aizen arc, or just after the arc where Aizen went to war or fought against the Soul Society. But from what I had heard, apparently after that, things did not entirely improve for how the series was structured. Like, there were some cool things, but, you know, wasn't enough to really save the series from feeling a little stagnant. Oh shit. Heal up. All right, what is this way? There we go. Okay, we can't swim, so no exploring under the water here. Yeah. So this has to be done later. There's a big stretch of map, too. All right, well, I guess we'll go into that boss fight then. But first, we have an ad break starting in the next 10 seconds. So 3 minutes of ads, but then we won't have any pre-rolls for an hour. So use this time to get yourself some water, stretch, whatever you need to do, and we'll be right back. And we're back. Thank you for your patience, everybody. All right. Let's go see what this boss fight might be about, huh? Because I've been liking the boss fights a lot in this game. They've been a very interesting test of abilities. But yeah, I kind of feel that particular pull of, you know, oh God, I hope it ends up well, since having gotten into One Piece last year, I'm caught up with it entirely. In fact, I read the most recent chapter that had gone up, and I really hope it, like, since it's been on record that yes, One Piece will be and is in its last arcs, I really, really hope that it ends on a note that Oda is satisfied with and that the fans can be happy with too, because One Piece is like a world-spanning epic, you know? And God, could you imagine if Oda had to end the series on a note that he didn't really want to do and that the fans didn't really like? Like, that would suck so bad. So yeah, and regarding the recent arcs of One Piece, I'm not going to say what all might be going on because I think the anime is still currently in Egghead. So I'm not going to say what happens, but let's just say some really big lore drops happen about the world and possibly One Piece's world's origins in its entirety. And people started theorizing and making a bunch of fucking memes about it nonstop, and it was very funny. It was just interesting to see because it's like, wow, it just went crazy. All right, what do we, like, just insane stuff. Loved it. The Grim Reaper of Milius. Never thought I'd run into you here. Ooh. Shackled Beast. Ow. Oh, you do a thrust. Okay. Ow. Nah. You need to dodge that backswing better so the chain doesn't hit. It's the knife at the end of the chain. All right. Oh, God. We gotta figure out the dodge timing on that. Do I have any other abilities I can equip? Because I think all I have is Garm, Yolvan, Nito, and Nyla? I forget. I know her name starts with an N, but I can't remember what specifically it is. Do I have any other equipment to bring on? No. Relics. I have one slot open, but nothing really significant to add on. Yeah, I got nothing else besides these four, so my loadout's set. I'm gonna save up to see if I can get a better mantle, because I like the azure mantle the most because not only does it look cool, it makes her stand out from the background, as I said earlier. Yeah, we're pretty set. Unless, well, we did get more stuff potentially from the town, so maybe we could go get some new equipment. Was it here? No. Wait, was it? No, it was here. Here it is. This is what it is. So how about we go maybe buy some equipment and upgrade ourselves first. Take time. Break out there. Okay. I think we... Oh, yeah, I saved you two earlier. Thank goodness she's okay. From now on, I'll make sure I protect her. I can't believe my brother fell down here, too. Thank you for saving me. But that homunculus looked like he was about to fall apart. He told me to stay away from him. He left me here and went off by himself. Yeah, the girl we saved from a homunculus, or not saved, but we found her and then we had to beat up a homunculus that was just past her. Let's see. Lowers attack, but boosts all the defenses. We'll buy one of these. Yeah. Get an additional relic slot. Trade off low attack, low heal proficiency. We're pretty set on that front. The restricted areas are bad news. Don't go letting your guard down. Okay. Well, we just got another relic slot, so how about we see what we can equip? Equip relics. Aerial damage. Yeah, well, if I unequip the experience gain... Let's try that. Well, actually, that's not really significant because how often am I going to run to status ailments, really? All right, map. There's this shaft area that we haven't explored fully, but considering the elevator involved, like there's an elevator that takes from here down to here, but it can't get it, so I probably have to come down there from above. Those spots I'm missing an upgrade for. Missing an upgrade for here. We went all the way down this before I decided that maybe I should go down this way first, so I guess we just go fight the boss. Because I imagine we have that boss may give me the tethering upgrade that I need to fling myself around the arena. Because that was in the last game too. The way that you did aerial travel was through tethering onto stuff from one of the bosses. Ow. All right, you just farted at me. Cool. Uh-oh. Oh, God! Iframes. There we go. 3 tries.
I failed. Only one attuner made it back from the depths. All he found was the shackled beast. The fumes had reached the crystalline realm. Even resistance homunculi are going crazy. Crazy? I'm more sober than ever. Free from your brainwashing, damn humans. And a tuner. Another of Melis's something. You think you're any different from a homunculus?
No, we're the same, you and me. Help me put an end to this nightmare.
Sticking to it to those Melia scum. Not a bad idea. Show me what you've got, a tuner.
It's hard to read those out because it goes away so quickly.
This power of frost? No. There's still hope.
You called me the Grim Reaper of Milius. Why?
Another mutant without memories, huh? Then you wouldn't remember if we've met before. Not that they'd be good memories. Not with those Milius scum involved.
We'll need to keep this one on a short leash. Strength is the only language he understands.
I don't answer to you. I pledge my allegiance to the Frosts.
There's no need to fight.
Whatever. Nothing left here for me to protect anyway. So, the last of the Frosts, huh? Let me help. I'll be your shield.
So Lilac Frost. Interesting. Shackled Beast. Cooldown ability. Tempered into a formidable weapon by experiments conducted by House Milius, this homunculus was abandoned by his former masters after proving too difficult to control. He was subsequently tasked with exploring the lower depths of the land of fumes, from whence few ever re-emerge. But emerge he did, and with an attuner in tow. Oh, activating the Shackled Beast's ability, Lilac will momentarily assume a defensive stance during which enemy attacks are automatically nullified and countered. Be warned, however, that timing is key, and that the ability requires a period of cooldown before it may be used again. Okay, so it's a cooldowned parry. Interesting. Also, is that no tethering ability? Really? Also, wow, this place is pretty. All right. But I want to go back and heal. Wow, I really went well with that boss fight. It barely took any damage. All right, let's talk.
The tethered steeple was the last bastion of homunculi with nowhere else to go. That was my story, too. Failed experiment. The Miliuses left me to rot in the lower stratum.
I might have called the stratum the sanctum again. That's a bad habit.
And a tuner from House Frost saved our butts. Got us set up in the steeple. Worked out for him, too. Kept the Miliuses from taking over the place.
Oh, he's smoking. Oh, I didn't even notice.
Milius scum. They keep cooking up homunculi. But I'm gonna put an end to that. We don't get to choose, you know. Our fates are set in stone from the moment we're born. It's a raw deal.
I see. What else do we have? So that's more on the parry. Nullifies enemy attacks. Oh, it's a charge. Oh. Interesting. And then we have parts for Lido with the Rocket Fist, but I'm not really interested in the Rocket Fist. Now then. So the area to the left of here, I can't, well, no, I can't explore fully because I don't have any kind of tethering power, and I can't go underwater, so this is left unexplored too. So I don't know when I'll get to explore those spots more fully. God, this game's pretty. I love the art direction in this game. It's so good. So what do we have here? NOLA! What a bizarre sight. The fumes have affected the very wildlife here. Okay, so I was kind of close. Whoa. Okay, you're crazy. You're cool. Crazy cool, like you. Warp? Oh! Okay, and I clearly lack the upgrade for here, too. Yeah. Whatever's meant to be here, I clearly don't have the abilities for... Well, hold on. Wolves. Ow. What are these things? Oh. Materials. Words etched into stone. O noble guardian, cast thy bolt of judgment upon those who defile the azure forest. The magic from the land of origin dwells in the azure forest. The beast's wrath shall echo through the forest, reaching to its origin. Status effect shocked. Okay, if Lilac or an enemy is hit by an electric attack, it may inflict a shock status effect, during which their attack and defense will be affected for a period of time. Shock eventually wears off by itself and can be prevented through the use of certain relics. Yes, and I have one of those said relics. What's this? Obsolete core, parts that can be used to unlock and strengthen abilities. Homunculus cores once in common use. Okay. Wow, a lot of places here, huh? And that's another. Wow. Okay, so this branches off pretty strongly. And then there's a thing on the other side of here that I likely need to get. All right, well, first things first. Hide UI. This game's got a lot of good places to sit. A lot of pretty spots. Okay, so you're for the owl. But I kind of want to explore the waterway, because I have a very strong feeling that the waterway could hold a upgrade that lets me swim underwater, which I desperately could use. You know what? Given that it seems like every character has a specifically needed upgrade thing for each ability, let's just do it. Doesn't mean I have to use them, just means I can at least upgrade them. All right. So what sucks about the underwater area is that we have not, or the waterway spot is that we don't have a bench there yet. So we're just gonna keep searching. Oh, right, I remember. Yeah, this place, if I'm underwater, I can't use my main attack because they don't want me to cheese it. Okay, that lingers way more than I thought it would. Wow, this place is music. Okay, so we went there last time, so let's go down this time. Something about this place feels soothing. Oh yeah, rats. Like, fume infested. Personally, I would rather not linger. And here I thought you liked being underground. I like that the bosses are actually characters we interact with and just have talks with. It's cool. God, that drill ability is good for that. It's so good for doing it with that. Hold on. There we go. Oh, God. Oh. No ledge, no ledge. No. I probably need some kind of wall cling ability to get up to that. Okay, that's another tether spot. Oh, hello. Ow. That doesn't work. Okay. Oh, hello. And a tuner. It appears we're too late. What is it? What is this? Blighted note. To whoever has the misfortune of coming across this letter, do me the honor of seeing to it that my arcane instruments is left in good hands. For someone that spent so much of her life running away, things down here were pretty good. There's a cruel finality to death, but my belongings will serve as proof that I lived. This will prove most useful. We should be grateful. Her last wish. We should honor it. For the sake of those that remain. Let's go. Oh, an arcane instrument that allows one to traverse the waters. With it, attacking, recovery, evasion, and dashing may be performed just as effortlessly as on solid ground. Fucking thank you. It may now move freely in all directions. Yeah. Oh, wait, hold on. We had a chat. Hold on. Hati. Yeah, the wolf's name is Hati.
Past the Crimson Forest is the stronghold of House Frost. No idea what it's like now, though. Not since I shacked up in the tethered steeple.
Woof woof. What's wrong? Brr. Seems there's something on his mind. Maybe the forest is where he was born. Here, there. Yeah, Hati was the name of the wolf. There were a lot of other homunculi kids at the subterranean testing site, too. We all had the same hair and looked alike. I thought of them as my brothers. You were there, too. We spent a lot of time together. You don't remember, do you? I'm sorry. No, never mind. All the same, thank you for sharing that with me. All right. I love the effect of the water actually splashing forward into the screen like that. Gives a nice sense of depth. So yeah, now we have the ability to completely be movable in water. Which means when we get back to the area way over this way, we can go underwater there, which will be nice. I also like that the music goes a little quiet when we're underwater like this. It's a nice detail. Nice try. All right, what is here? A tuner's pendant. Increased damage dealt by 20% when attacking in water. A pendant worn by a tuner that lived with the homunculi in the waterway. While simple in its workmanship, it appears to have been a gift from the homunculi and remains in good condition. The sentiment behind it makes it invaluable. Well, that's cool. I don't know if we're gonna be going against an underwater fight, but that'll be useful to have. Ow. God damn it. Trying to evade while you're getting blown away by currents is tough. Oh god. There we go. And there's a loop around. Ow, shit. Well, at least we found a bench here, so that's a plus. I want to go back up, though. So we had gone up the shaft that way, and then we were going to go to the right. I like getting to do that. That's really nice. Ow! Oh. Okay, maybe don't mad dash through then. So I guess we gotta take it slow if we're gonna make it through this part. I find it funny that somehow I'm able to get this owl to move around well underwater. Hey Combo, how's it going? Hope things are going well for you. We just fought a boss fight and now I'm exploring these waterways and talking about, good, glad to hear it. We were just also speaking about long-running series and how while they can be enjoyable, there's always the fear of potentially an ending not living up to expectations of either what the author wants or what the fans want. And how that's not necessarily an experience, god damn it, exclusive to anime or manga. Because like, I remember, wasn't there a huge, well not huge, but wasn't there like a thing for, or wasn't there like a big, I don't know the word to describe it, like a big, not controversy, but like people were very unsatisfied with the ending of How I Met Your Mother? Because I remember that being a thing and how people felt kind of underwhelmed with that. Because that series ran for like, what, 9 seasons, and then the ending came around and people were like, really? Like, that's how you decide to end this? So, I don't know. Like, I don't have that context because I only had seen the series long after it had ended, but I wanted to, I don't know, I want some 2 cents. Like, is there a series that you, like, be it long running or what have you, that just didn't really meet the expectations that you had for it? Because that's a universal experience, and I'm just wondering how many others may feel that, or if there's any series that, you know, you hope the best for on that front. Because I mentioned Hunter x Hunter earlier as a case of that, where I hope that with all of the ways that Togashi has worked on that series, that when Hunter x Hunter ends, it may end on his terms. Because, I mean, that guy, like, Togashi had the hardest time with Yu Yu Hakusho, and thus it ended up ending the way that he had ended it. So Hunter x Hunter, I hope, ends up being a better case for him, because boy howdy, I really feel sorry for how much working on manga has really not done well by him. Because for those that don't know, a lot of the times with the hiatuses that Hunter x Hunter and the manga had taken, it is due to Togashi having health issues. I think it was with his back, where his lower back was hurting too much for him to be able to go through the series without taking long breaks, because, you know, you'd think like, oh, well, why doesn't he just get cushions for his back? Then he can, you know, keep drawing the manga. People, let this be known. If you have debilitatingly awful back issues, it does not matter how many cushions you can add. It affects the rest of your body horribly so. Like, I straight up had a back problem that made it hard for me to move my head properly at one point. Like, your back is such a core part of your whole movement as a person, so it's not easy. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's got me appreciating series that, while long running, are able to still feel like the author is able to fulfill parts of the story on their own merit. And really makes me lament cases where authors don't have that and they end up getting I don't know what the word would be. Like, the publishers just don't end up treating them well, which is not a case exclusive to manga and anime. Like, I've talked about it before, but Webtoon, on how Webtoon had treated their authors in the past, and how a lot of series have chosen to either stop at their second season or go on a full hiatus so that they can wait for their contracts with Webtoon to run out. Because Webtoon just does not treat their authors very well, and as far as not just it's not just because the company is run by assholes, which that's true, but it's also because they at points don't even get the full rights to the series that they themselves create on the platform. I don't know the full situation on it, but there's a thing in Webtoon called Webtoon Originals, where if your series gets popular enough and falls under that umbrella, you have the chance to essentially make potential consistent money through Webtoon by having your series be under that particular umbrella. The issue is you have to give Webtoon a whole bunch of the rights to your IP, which meant authors don't get as much of the potential money back as far as things like merch or the coins purchased to continue reading the series, or even other projects that get done through Webtoon, like having animation productions be done of it. So yeah, it's the world of being a author of comics, books, or what have you is a tough one, and you got to make sure you actually fight for what you know you deserve as far as your creative endeavors are concerned. And I really hope that all those authors that Webtoon has shafted are able to find fulfillment in either continuing or finishing their series on their own terms, because some of the series that, fall under that line are ones that I really, really like, and it sucks that they had to do this. But again, genuinely, their rights to their own property were almost no longer theirs. So it makes sense. Draw the line somewhere, Come on, damn it. And that can be the case with music too, anything really that involves someone's artistic license more or less getting completely, not someone's artistic license just getting utterly taken for any kind of means, really, be it the rights of potential merch or future seasons or publications of any kind of property related to it being just, not fully the author's deal. And for others, when they get stolen and used for something completely different, it sucks. It sucks that this even happens. And, the last thing that I would ever want for any creator is to have the rights to their series that they've likely been, working on for a long time getting used for something nefarious or stolen because of nefarious reasons like greed, like what you told me earlier. Yeah, so for Combo, what Combo's referring to, for those that aren't aware, SoundCloud had recently done something about uploading music involving generative AI use, and I think it's something to do with their DJ model or something along those lines. But the brass tacks is that generative AI is now leaked into SoundCloud, and people are pretty pissed about that for very understandable reasons, because again, like a lot of that is likely going to be used for people's music to get taken from them, or bits of their music is going to end up in something that's completely cobbled together with no passion behind it. It's fucking awful. Okay, there we go. And it sucks because there are some authors. There's some musicians that I've learned about through SoundCloud that are really, really good. Combo, for instance, his music's fantastic, and it sucks that, you know, now other platforms have to be found potentially so that generative AI won't take his stuff or anyone else's. It sucks. It's awful. I mean, there's always YouTube as far as a potential outlet for posting your music to a wider audience, but the unfortunate thing is, I don't know what monetization of your music is like on SoundCloud or your podcast or what have you, any of your audio-based media, but I imagine the payout of it or the discoverability of it is worse on YouTube versus SoundCloud, which is why it is an alternative for so many artists, and why also a lot of people that do covers or their own original music also do things like Tidal or Spotify. So it is a situation, I tell you. It's a big old problem of trying to make sure. I use SoundCloud as kind of a portfolio or introduction for new people. Okay, yeah, because I know you use it, and I know you also have a YouTube channel where people can find some of your stuff. I just knew that because you used it frequently, that it's important to inform others about this stuff, because when a company when a business or website or what have you decides to pull that kind of shit, it's important to let others know that may be using it, because no one wants their stuff to get used for AI like this. Bandcamp is the monetization? Oh, okay. All right, let's pick up. Unidentified core. Ooh, more NOLA abilities. But yeah, it's making any kind of stuff that's related to having it be online in general has just been really rough, because of companies just seeing the dollar signs of saving a penny on using AI as opposed to actually paying people. So it's always good to try and at least find alternatives where you can. It's rough too for certain parts, because monetization on some platforms isn't as good as others, or one platform is just kind of the more recognizable tool versus another. Like, because finding an alternative can work when it comes to certain things. Like, you can find your alternatives for things like a type of cola you'd prefer versus the typical name brands, or getting packs of bottled water, you know, stuff like that. You just get the store-owned brand of stuff, but there's no store-owned brand of Twitch or YouTube. Alternatives do exist, but the issue with trying to be an alternative to those is the problem is grander than just, oh, I'll go to this instead. Because there have been a lot of Twitch and YouTube alternatives that have popped up in the years, but the sad thing is they go under really, really quickly. For YouTube alternatives, I remember a little website called vid.me, which was a YouTube type of platform where people could directly tip the creators that used it. And I think it lasted for a few years and had some creators like Jane Animations on it. So it had some backing, but the problem was that it could not really sustain itself because of a few reasons. Because of the cost of maintaining a site like that is huge, especially if you're worldwide. And two, people just weren't going to it enough. So yeah, that's an unfortunate case of an alternative with good intentions that just sadly could not survive the market at hand. what am I missing here? And regarding a Twitch alternative, there was one that I really felt particularly hopeful for, but unfortunately it fell by the wayside due to the issue of cost of maintaining it. And you know, Twitch alternatives are also tough to figure out, because would I like an alternative to Twitch that forced Twitch to sort of examine some of its shortcomings and potentially be better towards their audience and the streamers? Yes, but that sadly is a very uncommon thing. Also, I should totally be able to get over there. Hold on. Yeah! I love cheesing double jumps. It's my favorite thing ever. Ow. What's this? More materials. Okay. I had a feeling that there was a wall there that was hidden. Now then. I can't get up to that item where that is. We looped around all through there. Yeah, I think the only major thing to get here was the underwater swimming. I'll try for the right spot again, but I think the next area we're supposed to go to is just here. Because then that will loop back to here. But yeah, it's a bit of a serious topic, you know, when it comes to discussing platforms and what one may do in the event of a platform potentially being completely unusable. I mean, we had that recently with Twitter. Thankfully, Blue Sky has been working as a really great alternative for Twitter that is literally just Twitter that's better in a lot of ways, but not all cases of finding a replacement platform is as fortunate as that, because for some people, people have a lot of their brand or their livelihood attached to one type of platform of either monetizing their content or what have you, and swapping is not as easy as just Control-C, Control-V, you know? Like when I changed from Stream Elements to Mix It Up, because on Mix It Up, I like the customizability of it a lot more than Stream Elements, and also Stream Elements has some things about it that really irked me as far as how their business is run and the people involved in their business. It wasn't good. So Mix It Up and using OBS has been a far better affair for me. It's just, I understand that not everybody can be. I understand that everybody likely has their functionalities attached to one of these platforms, and I understand that making the switch is not that simple. Another example would be Patreon. You know how a lot of people have a Patreon account, but Patreon had made some decisions that weren't really good for consumers either because of the Apple fees. Because for those that don't know, Patreon has an app, and on the Apple Store, and I think just the Apple Store, renewing Patreon payments on a month-by-month basis there has a extra fee attached to it if you use the app on the Apple Store. So it's rough. It's rough having that kind of situation. So yeah, like I don't have the full scope of everything because I don't have or use Patreon, but I follow a lot of creators that do, and it sucks that they have to, you know, see this kind of shit go down because of greed. All right, so we got a new bangle. I'm gonna head back here real quick and equip some stuff. Yeah, on lighter notes, as I mentioned, I had been catching up on some manga recently that I've been not exactly on the ball with catching up on, and I have to say, I'm really glad Kagurabachi was able to overcome its initial memification status and become a genuinely fun series to read. Because for those that don't remember, or for those that don't know, Kagurabachi is a manga that premiered back in 2023, I want to say, maybe 2024. And when its first chapter came out, people were just making memes of the main character holding his sword in a front-facing angle. And I read the first chapter and thought it was good, and the chapters kept coming out after the memification happened, and as it has gone on, and as I had started reading more into it, I was like, oh wait, Kagurabachi's actually pretty cool. So I would give it a high recommendation for a read. It's a revenge story about a kid who's trying to avenge his dad after a sorceress Yakuza family had killed his dad. And it's just... my fascination with Kagurabachi is just how the author is able to use paneling in a way that I really haven't seen many other manga attempt. It's so well done. It's really cool. Let's see. Oh, wait, hold on. How many materials have I got? Yeah, plenty. All right, let's equip that stuff. Okay, improve stats but does not grant any additional actions. Yeah. What is this? Let's see this. Yeah, there was something like this in the first game too. Cool, okay. Okay. So we've got all that. Let's go to the water area over here. So this bench. Also, we have an ad break starting in about 3 minutes as a heads up. So Kagurabachi is one that I would recommend. I've also been as I said earlier, I've been at the latest One Piece arc, and shit's going down there. I won't say what, because again, you know, I don't imagine everybody's caught up to it like I am, and there's also people that prefer to watch the anime, and the anime has not caught up to where the manga is currently at. Although part of me's kind of debated about, at the very least, catching the anime in the latest arcs, because I don't know if you've seen, but the stuff that I tend to see with the One Piece anime is that the production quality of it has just ramped up tremendously, I want to say since Whole Cake, and it's been really interesting to see, because for the longest time I felt like One Piece's anime adaptation was really ho-hum as far as the actual quality of its production is concerned. Like, not to say that it looked awful, but there were moments of it that looked very, not great, to put it kindly. So I'm curious about how the later arcs may be as far as animation production is concerned. All right, in the water we go. All right, what's this way? Oh, come on, there's gotta be. Really? Nothing? No, I'm not convinced. There's gotta be something here. Wait, nothing? Wow, okay. Oh, there was something, just not where I thought it would be. What's this? More materials, okay. Well, Let's see, is this the subterranean waterways? It is. Or no, final disposal site. The trash dump for the upper and central stratums. Nobody ever comes down here. Unless they're Levy. Oh, it's a little dung beetle homunculus. That's fun. All right, we'll take care of this guy and then we will go into ads. All right, ads are starting in 10 seconds. So 3 minutes of ads, but then no pre-rolls for an hour. So get yourself some water, stretch, whatever you need to do, and we'll be right back. And we're back. Thank you for your patience. And honestly, that ad break was pretty well timed considering I needed to get myself some water. my water bottle is completely empty. All right, back to the action. There we go. Beautiful. So, you know, it's really interesting to me that how quickly this year has gone by, because I don't know about y'all, but 2025 has felt like a year that both lasted too long and already has gone by too quickly. And you could argue that 2024 felt like that at points too, but I mean, fuck, with everything that happened, with all the things that have gone down in 2025, it really has felt like a month in 5 months, you know? Like, so there's this one TikTok that got on YouTube that I saw that really emblemized mine and likely a lot of others' feelings about the 2020s as we are now halfway through this decade. It was someone that was doing a Happy New Year cheer, and literally as the Happy New Year for 2019 started, they just start screaming at 2020, and it went up to like 2023 or something, and they just went, what? They were blinking, going, what happened? And I mean, frankly, that's what it felt like, you know? Because a lot happened in the span of a few years, and it just kind of felt like we didn't really have a year of ending the growing pains of 2020, you know? It just felt like 2020, but more. Like 2020 with DLC packs. Like, shit, it's already May, you know? It's already May. Ugh. All right. Ow. Okay, I have to be completely still to... Yeah, okay, I have to be completely still to use that. All right. Oh, you're not an enemy. We were all thrown out, but I have lots of work. I am happy. Oh, you do you, guy. More materials. Cleaning, please stand back. Oh, like little spider wallies. That's cute. Why is it? Oh, I know why. Maybe if it wasn't on a corner, it wouldn't be bouncing as much. Bouncing like those Nosferatu memes. Okay, so I actually have a question about that. So, Nosferatu, that movie came out and people seemed to like it, from what I hear. Like, it's kind of got some divisive moments from what I've also heard, but for the most part, I hear a positive reception about it. And the big contribution that seems to have happened with that movie's existence is the meme of apparently Nosferatu saying you must bounce on it, which, what the fuck is the context? I'm probably not gonna see the movie for a long time, so I'll forget, but I gotta know, what the fuck is the context? Because movies having memes made out of them isn't anything new, but because that movie in no capacity has ever felt like it would have a joke of that kind in it. It feels like it's made up by the internet. Like, you know how sometimes when the internet has made a joke about a character saying a thing, or a person saying a thing that they never actually said, but it becomes so well known that it feels like a what's the word for it? Like, it feels like it just kind of becomes people's only known thing about a movie, that like a Mandela effect, like a large scale Mandela effect towards a movie. Is this a case of that, or did it actually happen? I can imagine the team froze for a second and lost their shit. Maybe, I don't know. Like, the internet's a weird place where anything can just come up out of nowhere like that. God damn it. Is this where I'm supposed to go? Wow, there was no bench for that entire stretch, huh? Okay. Well, the waterway did not have anything. I feel like it's either the Crimson Forest or down here, the final disposal site. Well, I thought this would loop back to here, but I guess that's not the case. Yeah, because I thought, like, what I thought was going to happen was I go over here and then something down here loops all the way back to the subterranean waterway, but... I guess that wasn't it. Well, if Tethered Forest is where I'm supposed to be, then maybe we just go there for now. Whoa, hello. You have to wonder, though, like, how much some may know regarding memes of certain properties that they end up making. Like, because there's no avoiding things ever getting made into a meme, and there's no predicting what gets made into a meme, but I figured, like, at some point maybe the team that made Nosferatu know of the whole bounce on it meme, as weirdly out of left field as it feels. Because again, like, that whole that meme just feels completely divorced from what Nosferatu looked like, according to what the trailers felt like. But again, it wouldn't be the first time that a property had a meme about it that felt completely divorced from the tone of a particular series. It just feels like for Nosferatu, that feels like so... And the other thing is, I feel like the reason why that may be a thing is because of TikTok. Like, I feel like half of the shit that people reference or make vernacular out of is due to TikTok. And it's made me feel like I'm listening to a different language at some point with certain memes, you know? And like, I'm never gonna have a TikTok, so I likely will never really understand fully. Like, YouTube Shorts is the closest I'll ever even get to having something similar, but the fact that this is even something that's discussed is like, I would love some kind of video essay study on, you know, the vernaculars of TikTok and how fluctuating it can be. All right, warp here. Although I guess like the whole like creation of vernacular or creation of very bizarre memes and internet lingo is not anything new. I mean, that's existed as far back as MySpace, for those that remember that. It's nothing new, but TikTok feels like TikTok and Twitter were cases in their time that felt like they were inescapable if you were ever on the internet in any capacity, you know? Okay, so yeah, like I'm trying to remember any kind of big one that happened on Twitter that made waves that really was well known for a long period of time, but I mean, due to how fast the internet moves, I really can't remember in full. Vine? Oh God, Vine. Like, yeah, I remember Vine was huge when I was in high school. And that one was a really interesting case too, considering much like TikTok, it ended up becoming a huge thing for a lot of people to like make money off of too, out of short form content. And I guess that just kind of paved the way for more short form content to be enjoyable, because the short form content means that people likely don't have to spend as much time sitting to watch for a joke, you know? Compared to, I guess compared to when, in my day with YouTube, how we would have the narwhal song or the owls song or the duck at the lemonade stand, you know? Those were my era. That was my era of YouTube, to inform upon how old I am. Okay, so that's walled off completely. There's a thing down there. Trying to think, was there another? I feel like Tumblr probably also had that, although Tumblr's significance, Tumblr's influence on things, I feel, is not as strong as things used to be. Although I think it did end up being one of the birthplaces of the Omegaverse, so I guess it had its impact somehow. And if you don't know what the Omegaverse is, how the hell do I explain the Omegaverse? The Omegaverse is one of those rabbit holes you really just gotta research yourself to understand. I guess that's the best way I could describe it. Look into it yourself, because I've never read a single damn thing about it, but it's such a genre that's so open now that straight up there are anime and manga that take place in the universe of it, which I found out when I went to a bookstore recently, and there was one on the shelf, and a pretty decent romance anime was released a little bit ago that also was in the Omegaverse sphere, which was a very interesting discovery. Oh shit. There we go. There we go. I may change out the saw blades. I'm not really liking how they bounce off the walls like that. There we go. I really like the scythe. I think I may keep the scythe as the main move set. It's really good. Okay, where the fuck am I? I am over this way. Okay, so then that leads back up to there. And then that probably leads back down there. Right? Yes. Ow. Okay. Heal up. Okay, is there anything else that I'm missing in this room? Ow! Holy shit, that's fast. Aha. Oh god. Wow, that was just I was about to say that was just comical, but then I fucked around and found out. Let's see, Crimson Bangle, improved stats, primarily defense. Up to 2 bracelets can be equipped at a time. Trinket worn long ago by the ancients. It is engraved with runes and a faded red root wraps around it. Okay. Good grab. Okay, so that was just one loop. And there's still things in these rooms that I'm missing. This, I assume, gets completed when I get this door open. This growth. Yeah. Oh, actually, some significant news came up that I'm pretty excited about. Regarding game stuff. So, Outer Wilds, we all know it. We all love it. That nice puzzle space exploration game. So, kind of in a similar manner to how Silksong news was kind of dropped on people's laps after that Nintendo Direct for the Switch 2. The developers, or one of the heads of the development team behind Outer Wilds, just out of left field dropped the news that they are working on another game. And I, like a lot of others that have played Outer Wilds and loved it a lot, are excited. Although, I have to wonder what it's even gonna be. You know, is it gonna be another exploration puzzle game, or is it gonna be something different? Because the other thing that I also have to wonder is, will it be able to satisfy people if it comes out and, you know, can be as good as Outer Wilds? Like, it doesn't have to live up to the same expectations, I feel, but I feel like inevitably comparison will be drawn. Let's just hope it's good, you know, because I have faith that they'll make a good game with all of that in mind. It's just, wow, wasn't expecting to hear news of another game from them. That's huge and awesome. More materials. I love doing the fall damage in this game. It's good. It's very, very fun. Holy shit. So this likely will complete the shortcut that I need for the bench area. Oop. There we go. I don't know if you can hear, but so for those that don't know, I've got a little dog named Finn, and he loves to chase around our dog Bonnie, and you may be able to hear him, his little legs like fall really heavy on the floor, and it just kind of sounds like a pitter patter, kind of like those videos of ducks running around. You hear their webbed feet slapping. It's kind of like that. It's very cute. He's a very cute dog, and I love him a lot. He's a sweetheart. I like watching him run. He's very cute. So if you hear any kind of weird thumping noises, that's what that is. Because as I've said before, I'm in a basement area, and this basement area is just below where the kitchen is, and people walking around up top could possibly be heard over the mic. So yeah, if you hear footfalls, that's what that is. Finn the dog. I know that hilariously that lines up pretty funny with the whole Adventure Time thing. No, I did not name him after Adventure Time Finn or any kind of Adventure Time joke. I'm not even that into Adventure Time at all, frankly. I named him that because I like the name Finn. I thought Finn worked as a dog name. And it does, you know, he looks like a Finn. But then, the funny thing is that his old name was actually Jake. So when we got him, it was like a really, really hilarious lineup. And I was like, God damn it, I'm gonna be getting that all the time now, aren't I? Anytime I ever tell the story about how he came across our house. Because, believe it or not, he was not an adoption, like, we did not ever actively adopt him. He came to our house because he was a stray. Or he was a dog that was a stray that the person that owned him didn't want back. I think I told the story back in like 2023 when he first came to our house, but for those that don't know, the story about how Finn came to our house was one day I was doing a favor for a family friend, and I was dog sitting. I was helping dog sit for her, and during my dog sitting time, my folks had called me and said, hey, so we have a third dog now. And I was like, what the hell? And according to the story, as far as my dad was concerned, he and my mom saw this little shape on our porch, and this little shape turned out to be a dog. It turned out to be Finn, and it was a particularly cold November. It was October at the time, so it was a very cold October weekend, I think. And at the time, we didn't really know. I didn't know what to do because I was just there and at my family friend's house, and they were like, "It's okay. We'll bring him inside. We'll check for microchips and see if his owners will come by." And what ended up happening was this: they brought him in, and my dad managed to find the previous owner, but they did not want him back after he had apparently gotten out. But the problem is that my dad does not fully believe the story because he likely wasn't treated very well at his old home, because the previous owner had a kid that likely did not know how to really behave around a dog, and he managed to get out of that old living situation and had apparently wandered around until he ended up on our porch. So yeah, after we had found out about all this, we decided to take him into our home, and he has just been an absolute delight. He and our dog Bonnie get along like siblings. They play together all the time, and one of his favorite things to do actually is that if you're ever watching TV, he will he will find a way to cuddle up to you, into your lap, no matter what position, because he just loves to be next to people like that, and it's very sweet. He is a little sweetheart. If I ever get a good picture of him, I'll be sure to share it with you all. And the other thing is, he does this cute thing too, where I'll be in the kitchen and I'll be making like a peanut butter honey sandwich or something, and he'll like, he and Bonnie will run into the room to see what I'm up to, thinking that they might get a treat. And what he does is that he'll get up on his back legs, put his front paws onto my thigh, push off, and then does this thing where he'll take his front two paws and kind of press them together, being like, please, please, sir, give me a, please, might I have a crumb? Might I have a treat? And it's the cutest fucking thing ever. It's so, so cute. I've never had a dog that did that. It was, and it's only, and I don't know where he picked up that behavior, because Bonnie doesn't do it. She's too huge to do that. She's a Labrador. So I don't know where he got to learn how to do that. It's such an interesting behavior. I don't know how he got it at all. So yeah, that's Finn the dog. So someday, if I get a good picture, I'll make sure to share him with you all, because he's a very nice dog, and I like to talk about my dogs. They're very sweet. Bonnie's a bit of a stinker, though. Literal stinker. So yeah. Let's see. So could loop around to what am I missing in these rooms? Yeah, I think I'm gonna switch off from the sawtooths when I can get the chance. They're cool, but in closed spaces like this, it can be a bit cumbersome. Where does this take me? Oh, I see. Did we already talk about Duskbloods? I don't think we have. No, I don't think we have. So I heard that apparently Duskbloods is only online though, right? Am I under the right assumption there that it's online multiplayer only? Because if that's the case, that kind of deflates my interest in it. Like, I was already kind of interested in that game, because you know me and From Software games, I've been kind of not as into them lately as I used to be. But yeah, odd choice, a very odd choice, because for a game that really felt like Hidetaka Miyazaki going like, I'll make Bloodborne on Switch now, it feels weird for him to then go like, yes, I'll make this online only for Nintendo, which historically hasn't had the most, what's the best way to put this? They haven't had the best online services before. And I feel like maybe part of the reason why this game might have been marketed that way, or have the push with that particular thing in mind, is to have it be like, oh, how do we get people to buy the online subscription so that they actually spend money online for online stuff? Because surely having all of those retro games on the platform isn't enough, but who knows? But yeah, I as I said, me and From Software have. I don't really like a lot of FromSoft's modern stuff, which I know sounds really odd, but I find Elden Ring as kind of the emblem of why I feel that way. Like, don't get me wrong, it's a well-made game that's really good in a lot of respects, but there were just too many moments in the game and with the boss fights and the general design of things that made me miffed. Poor thing. Was it protecting the forest? Like, I can point to 2 boss fights in particular that really killed my interest in Elden Ring. And it was the gargoyles and the wolf, not Blides, but like the other wolf guy in that stormy area. It just, God, those fights pissed me off so much. And poor thing, was it protecting the forest? So we've got a bunch of wolves here. And there's a switch on the bottom. What was I saying? Oh, the boss fights, yeah. Some boss fights in Elden Ring I had a good time at, but there were others that, as I said, just felt like they really were some of FromSoft's just general design of like, oh, let's have long wind-ups out of nowhere, or let's have some mechanics that are genuinely bullshit. Like, the Underground Gargoyles one was a real case that just pissed me off immensely, because I could handle the 2 gargoyles, I could handle the 2 movesets, I could handle even the poison breath, but I could not handle why the fuck the poison breath did chip damage. I eventually did manage to get the fight after cheesing it with those spirit things, with the box, but I really did not have fun with that. And then the other boss fight, as I was mentioning earlier, the one in the storm area. Oh man, that was the one that did it in for me. I just couldn't continue with the game after that point. I was not having fun, and if you're not having fun in a game, you should not have to finish it unless you're doing it for, you know, your job or something. Because the last thing that anybody should ever be doing is something that they're not having fun with. And especially when it comes to games, because if you're not having fun playing a game, what are you playing that game for? And yeah, Elden Ring just I wasn't having fun with it anymore, so I stopped. And a lot of that can be put to how I apparently wasn't maximizing my build, but I think that in itself is I think that is just the pure pearl of what really irks me about Elden Ring. It's a FromSoft game for people that love to min-max FromSoft games. You know what I mean? Like the kind that know exactly what kind of build they want to make and what kinds of things contribute to said build. And that wasn't me. I wasn't a min-maxer of FromSoft games. So, yeah, that's kind of it. And for those that enjoy Elden Ring, you know, enjoy Elden Ring. It's just, I'm not saying that Elden Ring is bad. It's just, I don't like it I just didn't have fun with it after a while, and I just didn't like how some of the stuff was designed. If you enjoy Elden Ring, go for it. Like, the last thing that I want is to harp on someone's enjoyment because they like a thing I don't like. It's because, you know, everybody has differing opinions about things, and some people may like things that you hate and vice versa. So I don't want to say like, oh, like liking Elden Ring's not a good thing, because, you know, it's a good thing that you like something. If you like something enough to an extent that you're just playing it for hours and hours or watching it for hours and hours, that's great to have a passion for something like that. It's just, in my humble opinion, I don't see myself ever returning to Elden Ring again. And I know all of the DLC news for Night Rain is huge and all that, but like, if there's anything that I don't care for more than Elden Ring, it's its DLC. I don't care to ever get the DLC. I never played the first version of the DLC, or version. I never played the first drop of the DLC, and yeah, I can't find myself returning to it at all. I mean, it's why Lies of P felt like such a refreshing thing for me, because Lies of P felt like how I felt when I was able to play Bloodborne and Dark Souls 1 for the first time. Because what I found the appeal of when it came to Dark Souls 1 and Bloodborne was that you could try a whole bunch of different types of builds and they were viable, even if you didn't entirely min-max it to hell and back. Elden Ring felt like you were required to min-max it to hell and back. Lies of P, while you could also min-max there, you know, you could have the big heavy weapons, or you could do the dexterous weapons, or a middle ground, and you could still beat the game with any of that. Like, you could still beat the game anyway with Elden Ring, but again, it feels like a game where where it asks you to know it ins and outs, to know how to min-max, and that's just not what I did, you know? I also just prefer the bosses in Lies of P as well, since none of them did some of the Elden Ring trappings that I don't care for, or that one FromSoft game thing that I don't like, where the boss leaps into the air for ungodly amounts of time and just pauses the fight more or less by doing some kind of out-of-screen aerial attack. You know the kind I'm talking about, the type of thing that Ludwig did in the old Hunters DLC. Like, otherwise a pretty cool fight, I fucking hate those kind of attacks. Because it feels like they're just like, okay, pause the fight, I'm gonna go do a thing that's off screen and can suddenly blindside you. So, yeah. In other words, I'm excited for the DLC of Lies of P. I don't know when it's releasing this summer, but you can bet your ass I'm going to play that on stream, because I've ever since the DLC got announced, I've been hyped for that shit. And what's got me potentially excited is trying it on 2 different files, because I have 2 different files on Lies of P that I have on my system, and one is my original game file that I used for stream, where it was my Dex build. And then I did a second playthrough for just myself personally, where I made some different choices and I went for a balanced build, which was a very different experience. Part of me's kind of thought about doing a third playthrough for a strength build, but I'm still kind of on the fence with that, because I don't know when the DLC's coming out, and depending on the time frame, maybe I could fit a strength build run through in or not, but we'll see. Okay, so what is... I knew it! I knew something had to be there. There we go. Aha! Also, I didn't have my owl out. Chain belt. Increases damage dealt by 10% when attacking on the... Oh, I could use that. Mark of camaraderie awarded to a warrior that defended House Frost's territory. The chains were fashioned by the sorcerers of the Crimson Forest. Seeped in strong magics, they were designed to restrain the homunculi of House Milius. Oh. Excuse me, I was having some water. Ah, so that completed this part of the map. So that's what I was missing. Yeah, there's been a lot of game announcements that I'm pretty excited for, be it DLC or full games that, you know, are slated to come out within the next few months, if not the year. I'm still excited for Demon School, which sadly has been pushed back quite a bit, but at the very least it's got a demo out for people to try it, and I really recommend you do. That one's pretty cool too. Just a lot of cool indie stuff. Although there are some games that I have also on my wish list that have been definitely a longer wait versus others. But I'll say this in the same way that I've talked about Silksong. A game's ready when it's ready, and while the wait can be excruciating for some, considering how they can go on for actual years as far as the wait period, when it comes out and it's good, the wait will feel worth it. And I understand that it can be hard to wait, since some of that wait can be for such a long time, but it'll be worth it, you know? Patience will be rewarded in the end. Okay, so I think let's loop to... let's head back this way and head down there again. Ow! And I mean, that kind of thing can go for anything, no matter the medium, be it games or comics or what have you, or tabletop RPGs, because, you know, everything has at least some kind of wait period to it, and some are always longer than others. I imagine if Season 4 of Invincible ever gets actually greenlit, that wait could potentially be as long as the wait between Seasons 1 and 2. And don't talk about Season 3. I have not seen Season 3 yet. I want to watch it. I just haven't really gotten the time to. Okay. You know, one detail that I actually really like about being underwater with some of these abilities is that the buzzsaw doesn't have any fall off, or have as strong of a fall off in the water versus on ground. Nice little detail. I like that. It's cool stuff. Okay. Now then. Ow! Shit. Oh, yeah, see, like, I love that your abilities get affected by being underwater like that. It's not just the same thing, but you're in water instead of land. It's, oh, they float a little bit. They're not affected as much by gravity. There we go. right, what is this? Effigy reduces damage taken from enemies by 20% when 50% or less HP. Ooh. An ancient talisman created by the Frosts. It has been crafted using resources from the forest that carry magic. It protects the bearer from mortal wounds. Neat. And I think that's everything here, save for those growth doors, which is a really gross statement. Okay, that took me back here. So let's go around this way. I really like this scythe ability. Is there something else that I missed? It's there, but I think I'll find one of those other warp points, or the move spots rather. Okay, so then I go from there to right. Let's get my heals back first, actually. There we go. I have a 2 slot. What can I fit? Reduce cooldown, increase aerial attack damage. We'll figure out I'll probably get another relic slot. Well, hold on, how much material have I got? Oh yeah, I can probably go ahead and get some extra stuff. Hold on. Let's go shop. Holy shit, this map is huge. All right. I have a feeling that maybe there's an achievement for buying everything in the shop. Just a feeling. Equipment. Yeah. Enhance abilities. That goes to you. Sure. Okay. So, we're gonna go... Actually... Yeah, we're gonna go back to here, then down right, and then explore this whole spot. And I'll be on for a little longer, but as I mentioned, today's gonna be a bit of a shorter stream, so we'll stop at around roughly the 3-hour mark, give or take a few minutes, because as I said, I have to wake up early, so I can't be up for too long. Oh, threaded the needle of that really well. Whew. I love this scythe. It's so good. Actually, there's a question. So chat, when it comes to weapons that are typically fantastical in terms of their usage, y'all ever have a favorite of that? Like a kind of weapon that in realistic practices would be really, really difficult or debilitating. Well, not debilitating, but like in real life practice would be really tough to try and pull off with any kind of effectiveness. More or less a showpiece, but in fantasy settings or settings in fiction, it tends to just look really awesome. Scythes for me have always had that kind of effect. Scythes and wires. Okay, so that's explored there. Also, we have an ad break coming up in 5 minutes. What am I missing? There's something with the growth walls that I need to do. And then there's a switch under here that I can't get to. I can't get to there. And that's all blocked off. Okay, well, is that really the extent of everything here? Because I've explored all these rooms, I've explored here, well, as much as I could here. The only thing that's missing is just this growth door. And have I done that spot? I think so. Feels like this will then lead up to here, which then unlocks this door, which then goes into another area. But I'm clearly missing something here. Yeah, I think I might be missing the ability that lets me get past there. Sadly. So I guess back over this way we go. So we'll go back to the assembly hall and then try that other route that I saw. I forgot I was going to change out the saw blades for a different ability. Hold on. Abilities. Yolvan. Let's get you back on the guns. There we go. Ow! Okay. Because these need a tether ability that I don't even have yet. And then we can go into this spot this time. I'm going to head out. All right, hope you have a good rest of your night, Combo. Thanks for hopping by. I'll be on for probably another half hour or so, then I'm going to head out too. But I appreciate you stopping by, dude. It means a lot. Hope you have a good one. All right. You know, as cool as saw blades is, sometimes you just can't match the power of a gun. Okay, so this time we're gonna go down that tunnel or funnel. I'll just skip these guys. I don't need them. Oh, shit. All right. Ads are about to start in the next few seconds, so let's go ahead and start the ad break. So 3 minutes, but then no pre-rolls for an hour, so BRB, everybody. And we're back. Thank you for your patience, everybody. All right, let's continue on for about another half hour or so, and then we will wrap up. If I can at least get to another bench, that would be lovely. Oh, come on. I could totally pick that jump. There. Dang it. There we go. Woo! There we go. Is that another hidden wall? I thought so. So that loops back to there. So what is over here? Cleaner's tag. Increases damage dealt to staggered enemy. Oh! A pendant belonging to a cleaner stationed at the final disposal site where garbage from the upper and lower stratums is discarded. The homunculi tasked with cleaning duties often find themselves assailed by the constant shower of falling detritus and have developed abnormalities as a result. We got a poo-poo pendant.
Got ourselves a little poo-poo pendant. If I ain't no poo-poo pendant, I know what it is.
Alright, just skip those guys. Alright. Let's see if we can find a bench this time. So, there was an item that way that I couldn't get because I think I died just before I could reach it. There we go. What is this? Letter in a bottle. Open the letter in the bottle underwater. That works. Lord Motley, how long has it been since you went missing? Rumor has it that after Lord Kane's death, yours followed shortly after. Nonetheless, we rejected Declan as our new lord and anxiously await your return. May this letter find you, or someone that knows of your whereabouts. Okay. So a new lord apparently came through and people don't like him very much. Oh shit, this is damaging. Okay. There we go. There we go. And then we looped around that way. There's a growth door that we couldn't, or growth floor rather, that we couldn't break through. There. There we go. Okay, then we get up this way. I missed. Hold on. Really? That didn't work. Hold on. Should work. There we go. Worked, but water still hurt. Okay. I don't think that was the intended effect, but that works. All right, equip relics. Oh, yeah. I have a feeling we have a water boss coming up potentially, so this will be worth it. Oh, not a water boss. A poo-poo boss. Ew. Ow! Ow! Okay. I got crushed by shit. Okay. Not expected. Imagine this guy ends up having a really tragic backstory. Actually, hold on. I'm changing something out. Abilities. Let's get that fist back on. Because the freeze is good, but I haven't been freezing enemies as much with it, so let's go with the straightforward punch. Oh. That was a, okay, that was a stupid move. Okay. All right, well, the other thing I want to do is unequip that water relic. Unequip that and equip that. That one will work. Oh, God. God, that's half my health in one go. Ow, God damn it. Woo! Oh, come ah. Okay. That's a good pattern, though. I just need to remember to not be super close. What I appreciate, though, is that when I get cornered by the shit ball, that he doesn't try to press me into it. Like, it gives me a bit of breathing room when he lifts it, which is really nice. That's a very nice bit of help on that front. You know, I really, hold on. Will the parry actually work on that? Yeah, because I gotta be standing still for it. I'll see how it works. Not, well, it does, but not against attacks like that. I was wondering if whether or not double jumping would be smart or not, but I guess not. Please stop flinging fiery shit rocks at me. Okay, yeah, that was just a bad setup of things right there. Ah! Oh my god. Okay, so sure enough, dodging above that way was the strat. Okay, that worked out. Well, shit. Okay, sweet. Ow. Oh man. I have so much trouble fighting a dung beetle guy, and then suddenly that happens. Oh my god. Oh, so I'm not purifying the dung beetle. I'm purifying the poo ball. Well, this is interesting. Help me. Did the garbage talk? What an awful thing to say. Even if it isn't entirely untrue. If you don't mind, can you help me out of here? Thank you for saving me. I'm Euro, and a tuner. What were you doing inside that ball of garbage? The magic supply system in the lower stratum is broken, which means the central stratum is inaccessible. I came down here to try and find a solution, but, well, you saw what happened. What did you have in mind? We're trying to reach the central stratum, too. I see. Would you be willing to help repair the magic supply system, then? Up ahead, there's a giant bug-like homunculus whose core has fused with the supply system. But, well, I'm no good with bugs, so I'm surprised you made it this far. I thought I'd get over it, but just the size of that thing. I don't deserve to be in a tuner. Maybe this pile of garbage is where I belong. Leave it to us. We'll take care of it. If you could. Do we get anything for this? Because we literally just freed him from a shit pile. New model core. Components that can be used to unlock and enhance abilities. Oh. Alright, so he freed him from the poo-poo bug, and then he just gives us a upgrade material. Really? Alright. So yeah, oh shit! Wrong direction! Ow, 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 ow! Alright, what is this? Materials? Cool. And that's that area complete. Where's this? Where would this go? Oh, wait, hold on. Would this loop back to where I hope it will? I hope it does, because I would love that kind of shortcut right now. Yeah, okay. Changing out for big fist attack really is better overall. Ah, but I need the tether. Whatever this tether ability is, I really need it. All right. Ow. Wrong direction. Yeah, that's the thing, is that you really got to pay attention to the direction you're facing when using these abilities. Otherwise, that happens. There we go. All right, what is this? Oh, thank God, a heal. Ow, ow. All right, where am I? Oh, I'm really veering off course here. Well, let's try that upper right side that I haven't gone to. I don't know if that will have what I'm looking for, but I really hope it does. If it doesn't, then that likely means I need an upgrade for it. Oh, hello. Ow! Yep, I need an upgrade for it. God damn it. Okay. Well, I can keep going left. And then I just want to at least find another bench before we continue, or before I end off for the night, because I recognize that I need the tethering ability to at least continue on for some points, and I also need the horizontal growth wall destructive upgrade. Because we have the one for growth floors, but not the one for walls. Ow. Ow! Oh. Didn't realize they could self-destruct. Take care of that guy. Oh, jeez, I went right into that. Oh, shit. Oh, God. Oh, God. This isn't good. shit. God damn, that's so far back. Whew, okay. Well, we can always tackle that next time. Because we did get a lot done. We got a few bosses beat, and we made some progress, got a new combat ability, and got the ability to swim underwater, which is always good. I'm just wondering where I get the ability to go back here, but I'm guessing it's through that. So really the tethering ability might be what I get next. And then the horizontal growth wall destroyer probably is much, it could be either or really. So, oh, okay, so this likely gives me an item of some kind, and then this is continuation. Okay, well, we'll figure that out next time, but what I want to do right now, before we end off, I don't think I could reach up there before, so I don't think I can get up there now, even if I have the double jump. This also needed the tether, that needed the tether. Growth wall. Growth walls. Although... that may then loop back to here. Yeah. Okay. I'm just trying to get a scope about like what could lead into where before I progress further, because truly the next progress point is this way. Like that has to be it. Anywhere else is just inaccessible due to shortcuts that I haven't unlocked or abilities I don't have. So in that case, let's go back to the hub area here and see if we can buy anything before we stop for the night. Craftery. Okay, what should I buy? Buy those. Why not? And then, do we have any oh, we do! I suspect a number of homunculi have been disposed of at the final deposit? Well, both deposit, the final disposal site. Thinking of the homunculus' graveyard? Is that even real? Don't the recycling homunculi dismantle and recycle everything down there? They don't appear to be functioning as intended at present, though.
It ain't just the disposal site that sees a shower of trash from the upper and central stratums. Folks in the lower stratum are used to having trash rain down all the time. It ain't right, the way they treat both homunculi and other humans.
Again, I like that. I like that they can commentate on the present situation. It's cool. Oh, okay, so both of those needed that. Oops. Well, enhanced gun is always good. And then equipment. Actually, I haven't really read some of the lore on these. A distinctive bracelet engraved with the name of an attuner, Chloe. Judging by the intricate craftsmanship, it was likely a gift from a loved one. A bracelet marked with the rune of a bone. A bevy of magical resources lie beneath the surface of the land of fumes. Indeed, what we call fumes is their magic seeping through the ground. And stone bracelet, a bracelet made with the rune of a stone. For many a year, House Milius, a family of renowned arcane smiths, flourished by fashioning these and a variety of other such arcane instruments. And the thistle bangle, a bracelet marked with the rune of a thorn. Technological advancements have made it possible for these to be products in bulk, or produced in bulk. But there was a time when only the arcane smiths of House Milius possessed the antiquated knowledge and skill of the crafting them. And then a bracelet of rather poor quality found in Old City, commonly worn by the city's inhabitants for protection against the magical infestation emanating from the underground. And then bracelets crafted in the land of fumes. inscribed with runes, they were discarded in droves in the lower stratum when they lost their power. Okay. Arcane instruments that enhance one's physical capabilities. They are fashioned from magicite, imbuing them with magic in the process. An arcane instrument shaped like a seashell. It deploys a protective barrier. It's possibly an ease of use. Its portability. Yeah, not possibility. Its portability and ease of use have led to widespread adoption, both locally and in far-off lands. Okay, and we still don't have anything for the totem slot, but we'll figure that out next time. But nonetheless, that is going to be it for the night. Again, sorry for the shorter stream, but as I said, I have to wake up early, so I can't really be on for too long. But I'm glad to have been on tonight, and I'm glad to have hung out with all of you. So thanks for dropping by and, you know, yapping with me about long-running series of any capacity and and finding alternatives to websites or what have you and services. Yeah, it's a really weird world out there where a lot of shit's going south, but I'm glad that we could at least get to chill and chat for a while. It really means a lot that y'all come by, whether you lurked or chatted. So thank you. And with that said, for those that are watching the VOD, I usually stream on Twitch at 7 p.m. CST, and if you want to catch me live, my Blue Sky is usually where I announce my live streams, as well as the YouTube community page, so be sure to check both of those to see when I will be live next, as well as my schedule, so refer to there. So, yeah, I don't have any other major announcements besides that, so with that said, I will leave you all off on that. So, VOD watchers, thank you for watching so much. I appreciate you a lot. Stay hydrated, keep your postures checked, be good out there, and I'll see you next time. Bye.